What's up, bosses? It's Boss Talks with the crew, and we are back. It's been a little minute. We took a small break, but we back at it. My name is Shurelle Monet.
I'm Miss Werking.
I'm Jayla Marie.
And I'm Chef Cham.
All right, y'all. So we got a little, exciting guest on our show. Longtime friend of ours for many, many years. Dontez. I don't know if you want me to give your whole name out there, because you Mr. Oscar, Grammy Award winning actor, best selling author, you feel me? He got it all. He got it going on right now, you all. So we had to get him on the show so he could tell us a little bit about what he got going on, how he has pushed through in trials and tribulations, and how, just going for what you want.
Yeah. First, thank y'all for having me. This is definitely perfect timing, and I'm glad to be able to share this story with my sisters. Like y'all, we grew up together. I remember, when all y'all had little big heads and couldn't match y'all bodies, but I'm just messing. I'm messing. We go back to the Green Lady days though. Y'all
look like this.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Listen.
Yeah, legit. So, I'm definitely happy to be here, and I'm looking forward to having this conversation with y'all.
Yes, we are happy to have you. Okay, so let's just get right into it. Okay, so when did you move to LA to start your acting career? Because
Yeah. So I moved to LA back in 2019. It was supposed to be temporary. I was going to come here just for pilot season. That's a season where we just auditioned for TV shows to try and get picked up for the very first episode, the start off of the show. So I came out because I was auditioning for All American first, and I wasn't out here at the time. So my opportunities, they didn't go too far because I was still back in Ohio. So I came out here to put my foot, to the ground, to the pavement out here, and that's how we got started.
That's how it got started. 2019. You just said,
out, just up and left, and
yeah.
Twice. Like, I'm not gonna say how long did it take you to realize, but as far as your career and what you were going for, how many times did you not get what you want to just say, you know what, I'm gonna just go ahead and just take this leap of faith because something on the other side of that door? So how long, I want to say, did it take you think?
So I would say that it's crazy because every time I put a goal down and I wrote it down and I just pursued it, it always happened. So I started acting eight years ago. Right after high school, I remember running into y'all at Akron, and I realized that college wasn't for me. Mm-hmm. So I remember talking to Steve Harvey, and it was for this thing called Men's Excellence, Black Male Excellence Network or something like that. And I got to talk to Steve Harvey behind the stage and stuff. And I told him that I wanted to make my books into movies because I wrote a book when I was 12. And he said to me to figure out what I want to do exactly and just pursue it. And, I was like, cool. So I moved in with my best friend after college, after the first year. And I woke up one morning, I said, I want to be an actor. And he's like, but you never acted a day before in your life. I'm like, I did it once, for Aladdin, but I never pursued it. Y'all knew that one from Randallwood. But I played narrator 5, but then back then I knew that I could probably do this. But in 2014, I was like, I'm gonna just go for it. So I started to look up different ways of that people are acting back in Ohio. So I became an extra, and I started to get some. I remember telling people that I'm dropping out of college and just gonna go do this acting thing. And at first there was some backlash and are you sure? Because we don't know any actors where we're from. We don't grow up seeing that type of thing. So it's very far-fetched. Right. But y'all know I'm hard-headed. So I got to go make sure I can't do this, if anything. So I dropped out. I pursued acting. I became an extra on a couple of gigs, and then I got to work with Will Smith 6 months into it. I never took being on set as just another day on set. It was like, this is my workshop. This is where I go to learn. This is where I go to meet people. So when I got to work with Will, I embodied everything that he was doing because I got to see how he would snap in and out of characters. Like, it was for the movie Concussion. You'll see me about 11 minutes, 25 seconds in, and I'm just laying on the morgue bed, dead. But that day was, I learned how to, no matter what, stop smiling, go into the character. And because I kept, jumping out of the scene, because I was like, oh my God, I'm in a movie with Will Smith right now. I'm like, this is gonna be around forever. And I loved it. And between takes, I remember they had us go into this place called Holding. And that's where you go to wait while they're shooting and setting up the next scene. But instead of going to Holding, I would just stay around the corner, stay out of everybody's way. And I would just watch Will, watch his interactions with people behind the scenes, watch how he would go over his lines, watch how he would just fill out the room to get into character. And then I remember we shared a moment where I'm standing in the doorway and he looks over at me right before they start shooting the next scene. And he's like, pay attention. And I'm just watching. So behind the scenes from there, the book that I wrote, I got to give to him. It was called We All Do Dumb Things. And as we were breaking for lunch, I remember approaching him. I sat down for the longest time, just waiting for him to come out from shooting. And I was like, am I going to do this? Am I going to do this? And it's like, all he could say is no or not take the book, present the opportunity. So I just waited and I waited and he came out and I said, hey, Will, I just want to talk to you for a second. And he stopped. We talked and I asked him, what can a young man like myself, a young Black man like myself do in this business to be successful? And he said to me to ride the wave. And then he explained it. He said, sometimes you're going to be working, sometimes you're not going to be working. Sometimes you're going to be on set, other days you're not. You got to ride the wave and make sure that you're staying busy so you don't get caught up with trying to get a job. So I took that advice, and in between my off seasons, when I'm not on set, I'm writing my books or my short stories. If I'm not doing that, I'm in acting class. If I'm not doing that, then I'm just keeping myself busy and not trying to focus on trying to make the money and get the jobs. So that was 8 years ago. And in between that, I've been blessed to be cast into a movie that's on Netflix right now called Surviving Compton. My very first movie, which is like an honor for me, was called The Land, which was about Cleveland. And I got to share some really good scenes in there. And it's the catalog goes on for sure, from My Friend Dahmer all the way to my recent, which is Made for Love on HBO Max. And from there, I don't know if y'all want to get into that one right now, but that's a whole story in itself, for sure.
Yeah, let me ask you some questions right quick though.
Go ahead.
So you said you write stuff down, like in anything that you write down, like it just you work towards it. Like, what does that look like for you? Like, because people always talk about like, oh, manifestation and writing stuff down and like putting it on paper, making it real, making it plain. Like, but like people do that, but what is your process in like making it plain to the point where it's like getting executed?
So recently I've gotten into I'm gonna wait till this focuses. I got into dream journaling. This right here is my dream journal. You can't see it that well, but this is everything right here that I want to accomplish. And when I say that I want to write it, that I write it down, it's not just writing it down and waiting for it to happen. One thing that I've learned is execution breeds success. People like to talk and they get caught up in the talking about their goals and their actions and writing them down and just thinking this is it. But when you clock out of work, you gotta go somewhere and do something that's going to push you towards what you want. It doesn't matter how tired you are. It doesn't matter because the thing is, if you let that tiredness take over, that carries over to the next day and the next day after that, and it turns into procrastination. Now, there is a such thing as perfect timing, which is exactly like there is a such thing as perfect timing, so you can't force it. Like right now, I get moments where I'm caught up in my book and I'm trying to force writing something down just for the sake of writing it down. But I've learned if I don't have the inspiration, I am not going to write, because I'm not going to write any BS into any of my projects. So, and the same thing goes with my work ethic. If I don't feel called to do something, if I don't feel called to be somewhere, I will not go. And it doesn't mean that I'm like staying, like being jaded to be somewhere, but it's just like perfect timing. Like, you know, that's all it comes down to. So when it comes to, you know, manifesting these dreams and stuff like that, I'm still putting in work. With an audition, I could pray for an audition all day and I'll get that audition, but I cannot sit around and wait for that person to call me back. I have to get ready for the next one. So, you know, that's the whole thing with that. And that's what's carried me this far, honestly.
Faith in God.
Yeah, legit. And prayer, that's played a big part. I've added meditation into it, and I've learned that meditation and prayer going hand to hand together. You got superpowers that way.
Stop it. Yes, sir.
Legit.
I had to snap it back. Yes.
I'm
You really
gonna add
touched
to
on
that.
because that is so serious. That is so true. The power of prayer is just even just like outside things. So you can tell when prayer works. I just been praying for my little sister, and I literally have been seeing a difference. More than one prayer, they say, as a congregation, but no, faith and prayer, that's what carried you. Thank God. But you always said you wanted to be an actor, Dontez. I'm talking about back in Randallwood days. You always
legit. You know, it's crazy. I forgot about that until I started remembering that I did the Aladdin play. I was like, I wanted to do this forever. So I got to meet Yvette Nicole Brown. She was on Drake and Josh and a bunch of other stuff, but I never knew that she went to she grew up in Warrensville.
Yeah.
And then she went to the University of Akron, and then she moved out here off of $100 to her name. And I'm like, I started in college. I said, if she could do that, walking the same exact grounds that I did, I'm going for it.
Yeah.
So
they didn't already paved the way. So the most that can happen, like you said, the most they can say is no, or you got to get ready for that next door to open.
Exactly.
You can't just sit around the way. Oh my goodness. Yes, I completely agree.
Yeah.
I got a question though.
What up?
Do you believe, like, do you feel like you just got lucky? Like, do you just feel like this just like, you know, people be like doing this luck and fate, like versus destiny? Like, do you feel like you've paved the way for your, like, well, I know what you feel, but you know, like,
yeah.
Do you feel like you lucky, or do you feel like this just happened, just like off the strength of you just like, hey, I'm gonna just do this on a limb? Or do you feel like this was something that was like destined to be, like you were like, this is you?
I think it's I feel like I've been blessed, highly favored for sure. I've been in situations where I'm like, how did this happen? Why did this happen to me? But I never asked the why. Now I understand that it's bigger than me, because I'm not doing this for me. I'm doing it for a whole generation after me. Like, long after I'm gone, I want my kids to look back and read my books and see my successes, see me on TV, and know that they could do it too, because for that simple reason that we didn't grow up doing and seeing these things. I want to bring that opportunity to my families, to my brothers and sisters, my nieces and nephews. So I think because of that reason, that's why I'm blessed. That's why I'm favored. And the luck part, a lot of times I think I'm lucky. A lot of I'm like, how even being written into a TV show after doing one episode, I felt like that was luck, but it was also, they tell me all the time, your light shines. And I'm like, that's God.
That's God.
Every time, that's God. So that's those are the main things that I'm just blessed. I'm just blessed.
Dang. Got me feeling like
I'm telling you, when you got to put your all and literally take that leap of faith. I mean, I don't want to, make it about me, but I agree. I know how it feels to just drop, just going at Shurelle do too. You didn't
for sure.
a whole new state. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Shurelle, you did too. So it's not like it's not coming. It's like the most he said, the most that can happen is no. But you got to get ready for that next opportunity, because if you had his faith, and then if you walking in what you want, it's going to come to you. Exactly. So it's more than just, like you said, writing it down. We was talking about this the other day. We was talking about this on our first episode of season 2. What was the Romans doing in between time? It didn't happen overnight. They were putting in the work in between time. So yes, he wrote it down, but he was also, like he said, taking those necessary precautions. And sometimes you do have to, I'm gonna say, isolate yourself from other things, because you will fall and you will get distracted along the way. But when you stay grounded, like you said, you can't stop nothing. So I agree that it's manifesting, but it's like believing in yourself, because yes, your friends believe in you, but if you know you can do this, and like you said, that's why I got a little emotional, because I was just talking to my mother on the phone, but before we got on the episode, I'm like, Mommy, I wasn't even supposed to work last night, and I still tried to do like little stuff like edit in between time. But even when I'm off the clock, literally when I clock out, I'm still cooking at home, making reels, making content, saving things, because now I'm getting to the point where I have reels that I can drop every day and I can sort out which one I want to do. So you always have to stay active and busy in between time, because you don't know who watching. You really don't know who watching you. And when that opportunity comes forward, it's gonna be like, damn, all of this, my hard work, my ethic that I didn't put in is paid off. So I felt what you said. That's why I got emotional.
Good, and I appreciate that. I appreciate you sharing that, because that's exactly what it is. I'm glad I could even piggyback off of that message that you got, as far as like working even when you're off the clock, because that's when we go to work for these other people. When do we work for ourselves? When do we realize our dreams and what we want, and realize that we can actually have that if we just apply ourselves? That's all it is, So
Shurelle. This episode was like meant, or fate, or however you want to say, but this episode was definitely well needed, because we all been going through a little bit of something, and I'm not going to put it out there, but we all been going through some things, and it's like, okay, life is happening, but you cannot let life tackle life.
Exactly.
Yeah, you can't. You gotta like ride with the wave.
That way.
My boss was saying, and I'm grateful for them because they're Black owned. But they was like, he mentioned another thing too. He was like, "Don't chase the money, chase the dream. The money is gonna come." Exactly. So the fact that you said that, and I'm like, damn, it just hit like another whole other time. So legit.
Because listen, I got a long list of movies right now. The pockets, they're not looking where they need to be right now, and I could be honest in that. Because I understand that the sacrifice is worth it. It's going to happen. I have in my dream journal to make $3 million, $3.5 million. I lowball myself. Like, I didn't realize that I could actually do that just with my book sales. And I was like, I'm looking at that and I'm like, okay. I just had a mentor that reached out to me and said, we're going to make this happen. And that I wrote my dream journal down. My dream journal was written in January. Everything that I wrote on the first 5 pages are coming true right now. And I didn't even realize that until my girlfriend told me. She's like, you wrote that down, right? I'm like, I forgot. Because you can't, when you get caught up on the past, you'll start to relive that over and over again. You got to just stay focused on like what you're trying to get to. Take every day as fresh. Make every day as fresh as possible. Forget about what you accomplished before in the past. Forget about that. Y'all ask questions, and I'm like, oh snap, I did do that and that. Okay, cool. We got some stuff to talk about. Because I forget. I don't get caught up in it anymore. I used to like go into schools and speak to kids about about pursuing their dreams, and I got into this habit of reliving my dreams of being an extra. And I remember being an extra in movies and wishing that I was having the speaking roles. And I don't even speak in schools, even though I got the speaking roles now, because I'm trying to get to the next one. I'm trying to star in some stuff now.
Yeah.
And, once I'm there, then I'll be able to go back and say, this is how you do it. People reach out to me now, like, how did you do this? Sometimes I don't respond because I don't know the answer for everybody. Everybody's story is different. And for me, I remember going to people and asking, how are you doing this acting thing? Or how can I jump into the business, and not getting a response? And I thought some people, they don't want to share because the opportunities are very slim in Ohio. But then you get other people, like one of my good friends, his name is Carmen. He introduced me to a casting director in Cleveland doing Fast and the Furious. We were just a part of the stunt unit, and I was doing a monologue for people. I'm like, I am not just an extra. I am here to make this a career. And I did my monologue for him and a couple other people. He's like, damn. He's like, you're really good. He calls over the casting director. That casting director loved my audition. It wasn't even an audition. It felt like it, but she loved my monologue. And then from my monologue, I got booked on 3 to 4 movies that year. And those movies, a producer from one of those movies that she booked me for became my manager and had me come out here. So if that didn't happen, opportunity, if I don't feel like I need to be somewhere, I will not be there. But if I feel like I need to be there, I'll be there. If I wasn't there on that day, I would not be in LA. Like, so many things changed. So yeah, that's where I got with that. My bad. I don't even know what the question was, but
No, you good. It's good. I don't remember either, but no.
You good. I definitely wanted to have you on the show because I feel like your story is like inspirational and very like different. You know what I'm saying? Like on some, you just was like, dang, like, I mean, I know you had wrote books when you were younger and you were doing that and you had your face on. Like, let me tell y'all, Dontez has thought he was the man before other people knew he was the man. Okay, he had his face on a whole bus selling books before. Was it like literally right after high school?
Nah, right after middle
school. High school.
Oh, after high school, yeah, that's when I they wouldn't let me release the books in middle school because they didn't want my head to get too big. So they had me those books.
Had to get had to inflate that head a little bit. Okay. Yeah. But no, seriously, like he thought he was the man since before we knew he was the man. You feel me?
We knew he was the man because he used to always say, I'm gonna be in somebody's movie. I'm like, Dontez, we know you is. Okay. But
hey, listen.
That was different. But as you start walking in that, it's like, damn, you really did enjoy that. Even if it was a small play, you found something that you like to do. You were good at it. You executed that shit, and now look at where you at. So no, I get it. I had another question to ask you, but I think you was about to say something.
Go ahead. I ain't got nothing.
When you said you wrote down in your dream journal. Yes. And I found it interesting when you said your girlfriend said, the first 5 things you happened was true. How does that play a role in your life? Like, because it seems like you guys are really in sync. So how does it feel to have a partner, that's actually tackling her goals and your goals with you? You know what I'm saying? Because that just sparked me. It just sparked it.
So y'all know that part where Will Smith said, "Ride the wave." Mm-hmm. That's probably the best part of my wave. Her success is like seeing her write down her goals and making them like she does the exact same thing as me. I never met nobody who does the exact same things that I do. And we've amplified each other. We've read probably over 20 books this year together. And seeing her process and come up with the concepts for her music videos and then execute them to exactly how she envisioned them, there's nothing off about her stuff. Her music, the way she visualizes, the way she does her thing. I love seeing her process because it makes me better. I'm like, for me, I've always felt like the dominant one when it came to relationships and goals. And I always prided myself on helping my partner get better. But this relationship she's made me better. She's amplified me and my time management. Like, we getting ready for the show. She's like, it's almost 8:15. I'm like, I know we pushed it back. She's like, okay, cool. But it's just the time management and stuff like that, just the little tweaks that that she offers that makes me better. And then outside of that, we pray together, we meditate together. We talk about our goals all day. That's probably the leading force of our conversations. And then auditions. She's also an actress too. So our auditions we're sparking each other. I did an audition for Lids. I did a Lids commercial. And she watched one of my auditions back before I sent it. And she's in her element, she's vibing, she's like relaxing. And I show her. She's like, this isn't it. This isn't the one. And I'm like, you got to be able to take those punches. And I appreciate her for her honesty with it all. Just telling me what I need to know, because that's only going to make me better. And the same thing goes for her. We're doing auditions together, and I'm like, nah, just do this or tweak this or that, and there it is. She's probably booked a couple. I booked Lids for sure. And but when I did Lids, she told me a certain take wasn't it. It was too serious. So then we watched a Lids commercial, and then she said, do it this way. You want people to love what you're saying, not change the channel, but feel empowered. And I'm like, okay, cool. I kept trying to be like Common too much. And I redid it. I looked back at because what I do with my auditions also is I rewrite everything into my own handwriting so I can make it as me as possible, as if I wrote it myself. So I read back what I wrote in my journal for acting, and I remember it just came to me. I hit play on the camera, and I finished it, and she was like, "That was it." I watched it back. We didn't even watch it back yet, but I watched it back, and she says, "That's the one." And then yeah, and then
You
right,
sent it off.
I sent it off, but the day I found out was the day I went back to Ohio, and it was the last time that I got to see my dad. So I got to share that moment with him of him just hearing how the negotiations work with the business, and he got to really feel a part of it, because he never got to see the process. I was always on the road and just doing things and making this thing happen, but he never got to hear the cause with me of me booking something. So Lids, that commercial is very special for sure. Yeah.
I loved it. You guys have to watch it. It's like a minute or 30 seconds long, almost 2 minutes. But when I tell you that commercial is fire, okay, it's fire.
Thank you.
It was, what was it about? They were bringing the Negro Leagues.
Yep. They just started a collection with the Negro Leagues for baseball and basketball, and they're just honoring them because they've never had a collection before with any other brand. So Lids got to introduce that, and I got to be the spokesperson for that catalog. So it's very uplifting on set. I felt my father's presence, my grandfather's presence, and the presence of every man that would be smiling at that. I knew the responsibility that I held with that. And there wasn't a moment on set that I was offbeat. That audition was about 2 pages long. It's a monologue of 2 pages, and it felt like 10. And I had to do that for 5 hours straight. And I never sat down. I was just in the pocket, ready to work. Because I'm like, this is what I do. And I just want to make sure I'm honoring the men in my life.
And that's a big thing for Black people. You know what I'm saying? Like, you being a spokesperson for such things that like literally carried us through all the trouble and times that we had, the Negro League and baseball, like that's huge for like, you know what I mean? For us as Black people, and even the Harlem Tribes and all that different stuff that we grew up and our parents grew up seeing, and the fact that she was able to bring that back to 21st century, and you being the spokesperson for something like that and literally showing up and being there for Black people, like that in itself is amazing. So
thank you.
I was happy and very elated when I seen that commercial.
Thank you. It was a blessing for sure. That was my favorite thing.
I got
Yeah.
a question.
Mhm.
All right. How often are you able to like come back and see your family?
Probably once, maybe 3 times a year.
Okay, because like I'm planning on moving to Dallas end of the year. So I guess like the biggest thing for me in my head is like missing out on things. So like
Yeah.
how have you been making it through missing out? Because I know you missed out on so much.
I ain't gonna lie, this one what keeps me sane. Without having my partner and somebody who helps me through my tough times, I don't know where I would be, honestly. I've lost my bad.
No, you good. You good. You good. You good.
I ain't mean to take it there. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I
you
just really
good,
want
you good,
to
you
know.
good. You good.
It's cool. This the real.
Safe haven. This is a
I lost 3 important men in my life. Very, very important. My best friend, my grandfather, and my dad. And my niece was born 3 days after my dad had crossed over. And even missing out on time with her is tough. People don't see those things. I don't talk about my family much, but it's the most important thing to me. This whole past year of my father, from the moment he found out he had cancer, to today, it's tough. It's not easy. The successes they're great, they're cool. I would definitely love. Sorry.
Good. We didn't all cry on the show except for B.
Right. You
Don't worry about it.
I was not expecting that at all. But I would definitely have loved to have my father throughout the next chapter, but someone gifted me a mug of him for after his phone going. I got this thing on that's like blocking out the background, but yeah, I would have definitely loved to have him a part of this next phase because I feel it happening. I remember him coming to me in a dream probably days after he passed, and we built a spaceship together. And I had no clue what it meant. I told my little sister about it of all people, and she's like, "He's telling you about to take off, fool."
Chinese funny.
Yes, she is. And sure enough, the day after that, which was 5 days after his passing, lids dropped. There was talks of a spinoff for my character in a TV show that I'm in. It was canceled, but you never get caught up in those things. You just, we're losing people out here. That's much more important than the show getting carried over. But yeah, so it's definitely tough. It's tough. It's not. This has been the hardest 3 years of my life. And my grandmother's been sick. She's been ill, and that's been tough to deal with. So I think that, and it all happened after I left. There was no signs of anybody going anywhere anytime soon. So for me, I'm having these goals, and I'm like, okay, cool. I want my family to come out here one day. But knowing some of those family members that I especially had in mind aren't going to be here, it just makes me go harder for everybody else, and just to make sure I stay connected and talking and in communication with all my closest folks.
They
Appreciate
wouldn't
you
want
being
you to be
open.
back at home. They wouldn't want you to be back at home.
My mama told me that herself. Listen, I never thought I'd hear the day my mama told me that I need to be out here. She would always, my first year here, Tez, when you coming home? When you coming home? Now, stay out there. Stay out there. Your home is out there. My brother, I love him to death. My brother, when my father was was too ill to speak. My brother shared a conversation that he had with my dad with me, and they were proud of me for being here. And my brother said, I remember, because I was like, I'm gonna have to come back home, make sure the family's straight. This is it. Like, I'm gonna have to move back. And he's like, move back. He's like, no, I got this. He's like, you stay out there, you take care of everything out there, and know that I got everything back here. And when it's time for us to move out there, it'll be time, or wherever we gotta move, it'll be time. But you got something to do. Dad knows it, and nobody's gonna hold you back from that. And I never looked at it as them holding me back, but I know that this is I'm given an opportunity and the responsibility to make sure that my sisters and my brother are good, and to show them that whatever they want, they could go out and get. They're still trying to figure it out. My sister, Sinead, she's a mother now. Best niece.
Crazy.
Cutest little baby ever.
Yes, she is. I call her Ladybug. And now I swear, my 3 years of living in LA, I've never seen so many ladybugs in my life. For real. And yeah, so it's been tough, but my lady keeps me sane, and just this dream of mine keeps me going. So that's it.
I got another question.
What's up?
How much is y'all gas out there?
$7, $6.50.
$6.50.
They about to make me start riding a horse out here.
No, for real.
Just seen the horse walking down the street the other day.
For real. I already know.
Man had a Whataburger cup with his walking down the sidewalk. I kid you not.
Hey, I
That's
believe it.
crazy.
I'm about to get me a horse right in this parking lot. Hey,
Right.
Hey, go buy that bale of hay. You feel me?
hey,
Get
yeah.
damn shovel, scoop up the shit and keep it moving, because
Yeah,
this is ridiculous.
it is. It is.
Ridiculous.
Shit, yeah, when he he got that, he gonna do that bestseller offer. He gonna have 3 million. He gonna buy him 2 damn horses. You know, he ain't gonna worry about shit.
And
Not for me, no, 'cause I ain't moving to LA. I ain't coming
Yeah,
there.
that's tough, but having the help is nice. We don't have to just drive one car, so we both putting gas in the vehicles and stuff. So we don't think about it too much. And what we gonna do? Not get gas? So
right.
fill it up and keep going. Know that it's gonna change.
Don't think about it. Just do it.
Do it.
That shit
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah, but no, I was just being funny.
Appreciate that question, because listen, I've been thinking about that answer for a long time.
Literally.
Yeah, well, it was definitely a joy, Dontez. You touched on every single subject, and I really feel like this episode, like I said, I think it was really meant to be. So what else do you want to say? Is there any last words you want to say to us, to our viewers? Because it's going to be a lot of people watching.
Whatever you want to do out here, whatever you want to do, just go for it, because we're giving less than 100 years on this life, in this world. And God didn't put us here to just do one thing and stay complacent and just take the days as they come. We need to seize the day, seize the moments and opportunities that are given. And when you have a hunch to do something that came from somewhere outside of yourself, so obey it and trust that God is going to take you exactly where you need to go. There is a such thing as perfect timing. There is a such thing as you achieving everything that you want. So any goal that you have out there, do it. Know that it's going to happen. I've gotten to the point to where if I hear a no in an audition, I say, okay, mine is coming. So, just trust that it's going to happen. It's all going to work out.
Appreciate that. I always say, I've been saying for about a good couple months now, we here for a good time, not a long time. Okay.
Exactly.
So, and that's just a simple saying, but it's the truth. Like, we literally not here to, like you just said, to just living. Like, we're not supposed to hear, like, we're supposed to be living, not just existing.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly. I got a question for real.
Uh,
How'd you feel about the show?
Okay, so I did watch HBO Max on HBO Max. It's called Made for Love, and I was stuck. I'll finish that show in 4 days. I'm sorry that it got canceled because the last episode on season 2 had me messed up. Okay, I'm sorry. I love the main character.
Mm-hmm.
The whole way through season 1 and season 2, and then season 2 at the end. I'm like, she crazy as hell. What the hell?
Okay, I'm gonna have to.
And we are the
I'm
time
Is that the main?
You said it's on
It's
HBO.
Made for Love.
on HBO.
My main man on there named Donnie, ain't it? Donnie.
Yep.
Yeah.
I got to pick that. Yeah.
Pick his name.
Mhm.
And that's his is hilarious. Okay, so he plays a funny character, and he gets to play not a serious role, but like a funny role.
Can I?
Yes, let's talk about it a little bit. Let's talk about it.
So I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. Y'all probably know me as the most serious person in the world. I never thought that my first role in LA would have been comedy, ever. I auditioned for it. It was a next day audition, so I had to go over the lines real quick. It was like 2 pages, 2 or 3 pages, and I went in the next day. I left work early at Target. I go into the casting directors at HBO. I would go into their office, and I remember doing my audition. And I'll remind you, this audition, the name of it at first was Shirtless Guy. And that was the name of my role at first, Shirtless Guy. So I go into the room, and there's other guys in there, they're, they're thugged out. There's dudes in there with beanies and these hoodies and, all this stuff. And I'm in my work clothes. So I go into the office, and I'm like, hey, can I take my shirt off? And the casting director's like, she's like, no, you don't have to. You don't have to. I'm like, I'm going to take my shirt off. So I take my shirt off, I fold it up, and I sit in the chair. I do the scene. I turn my phone off. I do the scene, and this was before I haven't taken many acting classes, honestly. I've probably taken at that point I just did private coaching, and that was just whenever I would get an audition, and but I didn't have a coach for this one. I just went in, I did the scene, and I left. I get a call that Monday. That was a Friday. I get a call Monday from my manager. He's like, hey, you're on hold. Do you have the rights to your tattoos? Before I moved to LA, I got the rights of all my tattoos from every tattoo artist. So I got the rights to them. I said, yeah, got them. He's like, perfect. Call you back. I didn't get a call back till Wednesday. I was sweating I didn't get a call back till Tuesday. I was sweating for 24 hours. I'm on my way to actually get some ice cream, and I get a call from my manager. He's like, you booked it. I'm like, perfect. I'm screaming in his ear, honestly. I'm yelling all over the room, all over this sidewalk. So he's like, you have a table read tomorrow with the cast. Can you make it? I say, of course I can make it. So I go into the table read and I'm thinking it's like gonna be a small table, like we've done it in Cleveland before. Me and the cast and the director and the writers. It wasn't that. It was me, a lone table, Ray Romano, Kristen Milioti, a bunch of other actors that are in the show, Herringbone and Tiffany.
Okay.
And then it's us here, right?
Uh-huh.
And then every studio exec of HBO, Paramount, I think Twitch and Netflix was there. And I'm like, oh my God, this is my first time in front of a room like this. And I booked Made for Love the month that I told my dad I was going to move back home. Like before I came to LA, my dad asked how long I was going to, how long am I going to be out here for? And I said, October. I booked Made for Love the first year I moved here in October. And that was the best news I could have called him with. But I remember after the table read, one of the actors said to me, if you could make anybody laugh in this room, you've just secured your job. And I remember getting a couple chuckles, but the showrunner looks over at me. She's like, so what do you want your name to be? I said, huh? I'm like, I'm just Shirtless Guy. In my head, I'm just Shirtless Guy. But I'm like, Donnie. I didn't even hesitate. Donnie. Because I remember Will Smith in an interview said that Alfonso asked him, told him, people are going to remember you for the first name that they see you as. So pick the name that you want them to call you by for the rest of your life. And he picked Will. I was like, Donnie, no questions. So they made me Donnie. I showed up on the first day. I remember writing down in a journal, I'm going to be written for more episodes. We did season 1 in 2019. 2020 happened. COVID happened. And we don't hear nothing. I'm thinking in my head at this point, dang, the show not happening, or the show is happening, and I got written off. I'm thinking I got written off the show, where they cut my scene, because that's happened before. But sure enough, the show dropped April 1st of 2021, and I got a call 2021 in October that I was officially coming back for season 2. And that's when they brought me back for season 2, and the rest is history. Donnie came through, and I got to have a whole episode dedicated towards my character, and it was
dope. It was dope.
It's been a blessing for sure.
Yeah, y'all gotta watch it. It was. I'm sorry you got canceled. It's a different type of show, hands down. You like, what the is going on in this damn show?
Exactly.
But good. I enjoyed it, every bit of it. And I don't want to give too much, because I really want them to go see it. And I want them to see you. I was sorry that you was only on there one time in season 1. I'm like, dang, I gotta wait all the way in season 2.
Right. And more people, it was crazy, because I remember people calling me saying that, bro, they gotta bring you back. Your character was super interesting. Like, I'm like, I believed it. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm like, I'm going back. I gotta go back.
You got,
I'm so used to doing these quick scenes and stuff, and it lasting like 30 seconds and the moment's over, and I gotta replay it. But I remember sitting on the couch with my cousin, and we're watching it, and I'm like, cool. I said the line. Oh, there's more. I'm still going. It's 2 minutes go by, and I'm still in this scene, and I'm like, yo, did I just write my future? And sure enough, I started getting calls right away, like, yo, you're going back for the show for sure. They gotta bring you back. And just seeing people on Twitter talking about my character a little bit. Just the reception. I was on set for Lids before season 2 came out for Made for Love, and one of the guys there was like, dude, I loved you in Made for Love. And I was like, I was only in the first episode. He's like, I loved your character. You were the best character there. My co-actors though, they fire. They fire. So I definitely appreciate getting the love from that, knowing that who my castmates are. So, I'm just glad that I was able to uplift myself and be on their status, because it's a lot of insecurities in this business if you let it take over your brain. So I'm definitely fortunate to be able to just, even my character, I got to pick his name, and I got to pick my choices. Every choice that I made was all from me. Even in season 2, especially, me and my girl, we sat on this couch the day I got my script. Well, the day I got my script, I got my little drink. I sat at my iMac, and I went over the script. And then the next day, I went over the scene with her after she left the studio. And we're just like, we're doing this. She's working on her music. I'm going to set soon, and I'm breaking down my script. We went over everything. When we watched it back in May, it felt like we already saw it. We was like, yo, like, this is crazy. This is like everything that they wrote. So yeah, so Made for Love has definitely been it's been
Is that your favorite project?
Yes.
That sound like that's what's gonna put you take on.
Yeah, legit. And it's also my favorite project because of the cast. Like, if you go to my Instagram, you'll see some pictures of me and my castmates. In every picture, you can feel the love. Like, it's nothing but smiles. I'm cheesing ear to ear the entire night, and I had no clue that half the pictures that was taken were being taken. I was just so caught up with like seeing everybody again, because we don't get to see each other because of COVID. So it's like half these people I hadn't seen in 3 years. So, I was just like, yo, like, we did it. We did that. yeah, it was just, Made for Love's definitely been my favorite. And also Kim Whitley. She I found out that she was from Cleveland. Forgive me. I'm sorry.
Yes, forgive you, because you should have been knew that.
I should have known. And she let me have it for it. But we were sitting it was our first day on set, and I'm just looking up at the mountains. And I said, these are so beautiful. And she says, they are. I'm like, you don't see this all every time where I come from. Like, you don't see mountains and there's just the landscape like this. She's like, where you from? I'm like, Cleveland. She's like, I'm from Cleveland, fool. I'm like, yeah. She's like, how did you know that? She's like, I bet
Yeah,
you.
she definitely hanging up in the high school.
Yeah, she be kicking it out there, man. She out there a lot too.
Yeah.
But she was like, I bet you knew Steve Harvey was from Cleveland. I said, well, honestly, it's because I met him, but I did, but still. But we had our banter back and forth. But me and my lady, we got to go to her crib for around Christmas time and just go over the scene. And she came out to the rap party, so we got to see each other some more. Got to meet her son and her little dog. So we built the bond. It's crazy just being able to text her up and just say, "Yo, you good?" And even getting a response. I'm just like, okay, I'm carrying myself like we're here now, and I am allowing myself to not let the moments get bigger than me. I'm just taking them as they come. Sometimes they still get bigger. There's auditions I wish I could talk about, but
That's okay. We're gonna see you on them. That's cool.
yeah, exactly.
We're gonna see you on them. That's cool.
What's next for you that you can talk about?
My next book's coming out Valentine's Day.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm working on it right now. It's called Beautiful Hue. Sorry, it's called Beautiful Hue, Seeing the Light. It's a continuation of my first book, and the first book is about, well, my third book, but the first part of this installment, it's about an Oscar-winning actor who believed that having success was getting the riches, having all the girls and the money, and he quickly learns that true success is having the happiness inside, putting yourself first, and setting up your boundaries and allowing specific energies into your space and not just anybody. And he's going through the ringer at first because he lost he believed the love of his life. And he's going to get back to himself. So I'm just in the process of like writing his destruction, but we're going to see his uprise. And I believe that men and women will be able to relate to this character. The first book's gotten a lot of 5-star reviews. I haven't heard one bad one yet, and I'm hoping it stays that way. So yeah, that's my next thing. That's my next thing right now.
Yeah, you working.
You working.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that I'm just around so many successful people that's doing the damn thing. Like it's amazing.
Yeah. And Chef Cham, I gotta come and get one of your plates one of these days because that stuff be looking crazy. Crazy. I'm gonna need about 10 plates. I ain't gonna lie.
I'm tired. I gotta go in there in about an hour.
I love it. Hey, maybe
Thank you. No, I got you. I got you.
Sure. I'm gonna put this out there. For sure. I'm gonna put this out there. If me and Kim are in town at the same time, I'm gonna see if she can slide through too. For sure.
Yeah, just let me know. I'll set up some real
She's like, I'll
be there. Or I mean, I'll probably have I have to fly to the west side. Yeah, whenever y'all in Cleveland or whenever I'm over on that side, because I'm pretty sure I'll be booking trips.
Say less.
That way y'all won't have to come. Yeah, we'll talk about it.
For sure.
Yeah. I love y'all. I love you, Dontez, for coming on the show to just literally inspire more people.
Inspire me.
Yeah.
Right. Honestly.
Appreciate y'all. Sure.
We talk. Yes, we talk all the time. So we have these discussions, but I really wanted you to come on and really give speak out to other people, because I know who you are. I know your heart. And I know the things you've gone through, but I really felt like your story is really impactful and very, very, very helpful in many ways. And I can't wait to see what you do next. and have you on the show again,
Yeah.
you know, with more to tell and more to pour into people, because you are definitely here. God definitely gifted you on earth for a purpose. And I just want to continue to see you thrive and be that person. So I love you. Thank you for being our second special guest on Boss Talks with the Crew.
Love you too. And I'm happy to be here. Thank y'all for having me for sure. This is a great platform. So I love what y'all doing too. So I got to give the roses back and say that y'all hard work, y'all love, y'all energy, keep that up. Y'all have always had that. So, you know, Jayla, I ain't know you, I ain't grow up with you,
Right.
but they did. And all of y'all are in good hands. Y'all are all great people. Y'all have always been driven. And I'm happy to see where y'all are too. Even with doing this, I can't wait. It's funny. I was just telling her, I wrote in my book about a TV show called Did You Hear? And it's about a 4-woman panel. And I had no clue. That didn't even register until Shurelle texted me this morning that we were doing this. But I was like, I see that for y'all. I see y'all having y'all talk show one day. And I can't wait to be there. So stay persistent, keep doing what y'all doing. And I can't wait to come to the show and be a special guest on the bigger platform, of which y'all are building right now. So keep it up.
We can't wait to have you on the bigger platform.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Thank you so much, Dontez. We love you. We thank you as coming on as Boss Talks with the Crew. Once again, I don't know. This has been very enlightening and inspirational. And I think you lit some fire up under some behinds today. So we can go ahead and get back to work. Bosses, if you are watching, listen to what he said, get back to work. Don't let life you, tackle life, ride that wave. And thank you for tuning in with Boss Talks with the Crew. Remember to like, subscribe, and comment down below if you want to talk about anything else as far as manifestation, fate, you know, any questions you guys have, or just want to lend that open ear. So until next time, guys, bye.
Bye.
Bye.